Okay. So you get 25 years.
25.
Tonight, Sean Branch is headed to prison. Jen Fox has more on the 3-year-old charges that finally stuck to a man dubbed the Teflon Killer.
Teflon Sean, they nicknamed the diminutive Sean Branch, until the day the 23-year-old Northeast man beat 8 out of 10 charges against him. Today, he got 26 years for the murder of Michael Green.
You're 23 years old at the time.
Correct.
How does a 23-year-old accept being told that they're going to be in a cage longer than they've been alive?
I didn't accept it. At the time when I first got convicted, I didn't accept that. You know, I mean, I refused to accept it because in my mind, I think that I had enough money and a strong enough legal team to put together the best appeal for me and get me out. I didn't expect to do no more than 5 years, but when that time got to rolling on and I get to exhausting all my remedies in court, I came to terms with what my reality was at the time. So I adjusted and I adapted to my environment and made it a part of my lifestyle.
When you first heard the 25 years, did you cry? Did you break down, or did you take it like a man? If that's even possible. If that's even possible for something like that.
I don't do no crying, man. That's what that's one thing I don't do. Yeah, I accepted that, man. I stood firm on my 10. I accepted what was handed down to me, and I did it without complaints. I did it without crying. I did it without bitching. You know what I mean? And I learned to laugh in that situation, to be honest with you, Vlad. You know what I mean? I think that if I didn't do that time, a lot of good wouldn't have came out of me. You know what I mean? They pulled some good out of me, and they pulled some positive thinking out of me that I didn't have in me before. You know what I mean? I changed a lot in there.
Was there a certain degree of, well, I got convicted of something I didn't do, but there was a lot of stuff I did that I got away with, so at the end of the day, 25 years is fair?
Yeah. I ended up running across a mob boy from Jersey, I think from Jersey, Nicky Scarfo in Lewisburg. And me and Nicky Scarfo talked about it before on the rec yard. And I never forget, he told me, like, you know about poetic justice, so you can't be mad. It balanced out just right for you. So everything that you got away with, you got away with it. So just take this on the chin, man, and do this time like a man and make it home the right way.
Well, in prison, you always have the gang situation. You also have the geographical situation. You got DC guys that stick together, the New York guys stick together. Then you have the Crips, the Bloods, the Black Guerrilla family, the Latin Kings. The list goes on and on. How much of that politics did you have to maneuver, and what came from some of that affiliation and the violence that comes with it?
Well, I know coming in the system, with the reputation I had and the appetite for violence that I had, I was kind of, I ain't gonna say a hothead. I knew how to think, but I wasn't going for nothing. I was quick tempered, so anybody that was trying to bring harm to any of my homies, then I was definitely on the front line with it. But the politics about it all is knowing, when to insert that violence and when not to insert it. What's worth it and what's not worth it. And I ran across some guys, man, that was Bloods, Mac 11, Pistol Pete, C Murder, Little Baby Heck, just to name a few that I did time with. That was Bloods. They was from Sex Money Murder, and we became cool as shit. So it's all about the personality of the man and how he deal with others to form these bonds, and we create understandings with each other that, hey, if something happened with my homie and yours, before it go to violence, before we be on the yard stabbing each other, bring it to me first and let me deal with it. if it's a situation that I can't deal with, or if it's to the level where, you know, my homies want blood as a form of payment or as a form of whatever, then I can't appear to be weak either. So at certain times, I gotta make the call of let my homies know, like, let's go. You know what I mean? But for the most part, I tried to look for other measures, man, other alternatives to dead these situations before they even get bloody.
Well, on the street, you were known as a shooter. But when you get into prison, there's no guns. So if something violent occurs, you have to be up on that person.
Right.
You have to either use your hands or you have to have like a knife or some sort of weapon that you make yourself.
Right.
And, you know, I talked to a lot of guys who did a long period of time. They said that 99% of the guys that were shooters on the streets, they do not want any level of violence in prison because they're just not used to that level of savagery. You yourself, how many violent situations were you involved with in prison?
Well, I'm gonna say this, right? That may be true with some guys, right? But I know a whole lot of guys that statement don't apply to, and myself included, because that first case you talked about in '88, it was a knife involved. So a gun was I guess you could say my tool of choice later. You know what I mean? But I had found myself in not a lot, but you know, a few violent situations, man, where I had to use a knife.
Okay. How many stabbings were you involved in prison?
Might have just 2 or 3, maybe 3.
Okay. In 25 years. So not a lot.
Yeah.
And you end up doing the entire 25 years.
Yeah, day for day.
Okay. Because most times you hear, was your case a state case or a federal case?
State case.
Okay. Because in state cases, I heard that you get sometimes, you know, only 50% of your time. Federal cases, you get 85%. So what prevented you from getting any time off?
Well, the court that I come out of, DC Superior Court, they you got to do 85% of that time. So, and then you have to see the parole board, and they got to make a determination based off your institutional behavior, your record, your program achievements, and anything of that sort, if you eligible or if they feel as though you ready for society. So after doing the 25 years, it was no guaranteed release for me. I still had to see the parole board in order to make it home.
And they kept churning you down?
Nah, I made it the first time.
Oh, okay. But that was 25 years.
Yeah, 25.